Welcome to a brand new episode of the UFO Show. In this installment, we see NASA set up its own UAP investigation. We list off a few other countries that are similarly taking a closer look at unidentified flying objects. And we examine a shocking event in Brazil, dubbed Night of the UFOs. Let's get to it. Let's consider this One Giant Leap for Mankind 2.0. For the first time in its illustrious history, NASA has set up a team to search the skies for unidentified flying objects. As of fall 2022, NASA's independent study team will begin focusing on identifying available data, how best to collect future data, and how NASA can use that data to move the scientific understanding of UAPs forward. The agency's independent study team leader, astrophysicist David Spergel, had this to say about the major announcement. Quote, "Given the paucity of observations, our first task is simply to gather the most robust set of data that we can. We will be identifying what data from civilians, government, nonprofits, companies exist, what else we should try to collect, and how best to analyze it." The agency was sure to note that this isn't about contacting ETs from beyond, saying in something of a throwaway line, quote, "There is no evidence UAPs are extraterrestrial in origin." But who are we kidding? Well, all of the various government entities are always careful to stress that they're not expecting to see aliens specifically. All the world knows that UAPs are by and large suspected to be objects from out of this world. At least, that's the way we like to think of it. NASA also noted that their study is separate from the DoD's Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, which still needs a more kick-ass name. Although they do mention they're coordinating with the government how to apply the tools of science to shed light on the nature and origin of unidentified aerial phenomena. Interestingly, this study will have something of a time limit. In its press release, NASA says they expect the study to last approximately 9 months after securing the council of experts in the scientific, aeronautics, and data analytics communities to focus on how best to collect new data and improve observations of UAPs. The study will be released to the public in keeping with NASA's commitment to transparency, and they promise to make the information easy to find and understand to any and all who want to take a look. You can certainly count us among the interested parties. While we can't put a firm date on when this study will be released, we'll be keeping our eyes locked on NASA, eagerly awaiting their findings. Expect to read all about it sometime in 2023. Naturally, the United States is not alone in wanting to know the truth about UAPs. In late June, several other countries made it clear they're taking the phenomenon seriously. For starters, the official newspaper for China's official science and technology ministry briefly published a report that their Sky Eye telescope may have picked up signs of an alien civilization in the stars. We say briefly published because soon after the report hit the website, it was taken down. Perhaps this wasn't meant for public consumption. In any event, the internet never misses anything, and soon it was obvious that the report had been seen by plenty of people who were fascinated with what they saw. In short, the Sky Eye telescope, the largest radio telescope in the world, picked up several electromagnetic signals that differed from the signals the telescope normally picks up, prompting an investigation from China's Extraterrestrial Civilization Research Group. China's official search for extraterrestrial life began in September of 2020, using the gigantic telescope to search for signals from above. Data sifted through from 2019 revealed 2 groups of suspicious signals, possibly coming from alien life forms. Well, in 2022, the team found yet another suspicious signal from an exoplanet the telescope was targeting. Now, the report was careful to note they're not completely jumping to conclusions here, and there's a chance the signals are some kind of radio interference. Hence, more research needs to be done. A head scientist on the study proclaimed that, regardless if the data they've already collected will turn out to prove extraterrestrial life, they're confident that China's Sky Eye will be the first to discover and confirm the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations. Next, we have Canada, which has also started to take UAPs quite seriously. John Hannaford, the Deputy Minister for Natural Resources Canada, confirmed in June 2022 that he and his organization will be aiding the U.S. in its ongoing quest to better understand UAPs. In a letter written to Canadian Parliament, Hannaford stated, quote, "Given the shared priority for nuclear safety and security of nuclear facilities and the growing interest in UAPs in both Canada and the United States, the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission is committed to raising the issue with its United States counterparts and sharing any related information going forward." This comes a month after Larry Maguire, a member of the Canadian Parliament, wrote an impassioned article where he implored his counterparts to take UAPs with more than a grain of salt. Fittingly titled, "UAPs are real and we should take them seriously," the article argued that the issue is of prime importance. Maguire says directly to his colleagues reading the article, quote, "We should be pushing officials to get the wheels of government turning to better understand UAP with the end goal of determining origin and intent." Now it looks as though Canada is well on its way to getting those wheels turning. And we can also count Russia among the interested parties on the matter. The head of Russia's space agency, Dmitry Rogozin, announced in June that they will be conducting studies into UAPs based on reports from pilots who encountered flying objects they couldn't identify. Appearing on Russian television, he said, quote, "If we talk about specific facts of the so-called UFO sightings, which might have taken place on Earth throughout the history of mankind, which NASA speaks about, I would like to say that these studies have been conducted and are being conducted by a Russian Academy of Sciences, among others. The facts are collected and checked." While noting that 99.9% of all cases reviewed by Russian specialists have turned out to be atmospheric and other physical phenomena, he wasn't ruling out the idea that there are still cases worth exploring where no logical conclusions can be reached. Quote, "We still assume that such real UFO sightings might have taken place." Rogozin revealed that veteran Soviet pilots had reported unexplained phenomena while testing new aircrafts. He also confirmed that his agency has been in touch with NASA about the issue and that they had received similar information, whatever that may be. So let it be known that the entire globe is getting in on the action. So with so many of us looking up and hoping to see something, we should hopefully be able to see something conclusive very soon. We didn't mean to leave Brazil out of the last segment, as they're also beginning to ramp up their studies of UAPs. But this deserves its own special mention. On May 19th, the country's official Twitter account spun a fascinating thread on the subject, revealing and revisiting some key moments in Brazil's history with UFOs. The most crucial bit of history revolves around what's known as the Night of the UFOs, one of the more infamous accounts of unexplainable sightings in the country. As it goes, on May 19th, 1986, 21 unidentified flying objects, some of them up to 100 meters in diameter, were sighted by multiple witnesses, both civilian and military. In 4 states, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Minas Gerais, and Goiás, the UFOs were also detected by radars from the Brazilian Air Force's Integrated Center for Air Defense and Air Traffic Control. 5 Brazilian Air Force fighter jets were activated by the Air Defense Operations Center to intercept the alleged invaders. Said Sergio Mota, flight controller, quote, "Sometimes the pilots had visual contact with the targets, but the radars did not register anything. Other times, the radars even picked up the presence of objects, but the pilots could not see them. The Air Force considered only the sightings that had simultaneous confirmation." Allegedly, one of the planes going about 1,000 miles per hour closed in on one of the flying objects, which reacted by jetting off to the tune of about 11,500 miles per hour, which is 15 times the speed of sound. That's pretty fast. Years later, the pilot who saw it with his own eyes said in an interview, quote, "If there is a plane that can develop that speed, I don't know of it." A few days after the incident, on May 23, 1986, the Minister of Aeronautics called a press conference to inform the press that 5 FAB fighter jets chased 21 UFOs. That press conference was attended by the 5 pilots who saw the object, as well as the flight controllers who saw them on radar. Incredibly, it took 23 years for a full report on the case to reach the public, with the head of the Air Force Command declaring, quote, "This command is of the opinion that the phenomena are solid and reflect, in a certain way, intelligence, due to the ability to follow and maintain a distance from observers, as well as to fly information not necessarily manned." Incredible stuff, and pertinent, because Brazil is also now holding hearings on the topics of UAPs. And after a night like that one, who can blame them? But it turns out they've been taking it seriously for quite a while. Another revelation from the government is that they established an investigation system into UFOs all the way back in 1969. Here's hoping they continue to keep up the good work, and here's hoping for another stirring night of the UFOs soon, as long as everyone makes it to morning. That's it for now, folks. The truth is out there, somewhere, and we're going to be keeping an eye on things for all you true believers. And if you have anything to share with us, don't hesitate to send us an email at ufoshow@joeblow.com. We're eager to hear from all of our fellow UFO and outer space enthusiasts. Also, please share your thoughts and any cool extraterrestrial news you have in the comments section. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, as we're going to be your one-stop shop for all things alien going forward. Until next month, keep watching the skies.